Deep beneath the sediment and lethal geothermal currents of the Pacific Ocean, an engineering marvel silently operates, hidden far from the prying eyes of the modern world. This is Magma Fortress. More than just a facility, it is the most invulnerable nuclear shield ever conceived, where satellites cannot see and missiles cannot reach. Resting inside a dormant volcano, this structure challenges the very limits of human ingenuity, providing a safe haven for global security in an increasingly uncertain age. The architecture is an inverted cone, a massive subterranean city forged from ultra-dense alloys and reinforced concrete, designed to withstand the crushing weight of the Earth. Constructed within the heart of the Pacific Ring of Fire, it utilizes the natural protection of the Earth's crust to remain invisible to any surface monitoring. Autonomous drones patrol the perimeter, their sensors detecting thermal anomalies while their lights sweep across the obsidian-like surfaces of the deep volcanic rock formation. Every layer of this facility is a masterpiece of defense, designed to isolate the core from the extreme pressures and temperatures of the surrounding magma chambers. Building this required a new generation of deep-sea technology, where machines must operate in high-pressure zones that would instantly crush a standard military submarine. The fortress is invisible to traditional radar, blending perfectly with the geothermal signatures of the volcano, making it a ghost in the vast blue ocean. The integration of nature and technology here is seamless, using the basalt's density to dampen any sound originating from the complex machinery operating deep within. As we descend further into the technical details, we uncover the true genius of the drilling technology and the thermal management systems that keep this fortress alive. To pierce the heat-resistant basalt, engineers deployed tungsten-carbide drill heads, machines capable of grinding through the toughest geological layers found on the planet today. The challenge is not just the hardness of the rock, but the immense geothermal pressure that threatens to collapse the tunnels before they can be reinforced. Each inch of progress requires immediate structural stabilization, using specialized polymers that can cure and harden in temperatures that would boil water in seconds. Operating from a remote command center, technicians must manage the drilling process with surgical precision, avoiding pockets of superheated steam and pressurized volcanic gases. Every vibration is monitored by AI to predict structural failures, ensuring that the integrity of the volcano's natural cone remains intact during the entire excavation. The machinery itself is a marvel of thermal engineering, utilizing internal cooling loops to keep sensitive electronics from frying in the intense heat of the crater. This hollowed-out space will eventually house the command center and missile silos, forming the heart of the Magma Fortress's strategic nuclear deterrent capability. Suddenly, the sensors detect a surge in pressure. The geological forces of the Pacific Plate are fighting back against the intrusion of human technology. A critical alarm sounds as a pressure seal in Sector 3 begins to fail, forcing the automated systems to initiate emergency stabilization protocols immediately. Automatic repair units deploy to the breach, their laser welders sealing the cracks under intense pressure to prevent a catastrophic inundation of geothermal fluid. Steel reinforcement ribs are locked into position, creating a cage of strength that can withstand the weight of the entire mountain above the facility. Just meters away from the hardened walls, liquid magma flows, providing an infinite source of geothermal energy, but also a constant threat of destruction. Sophisticated venting systems redirect the volcanic gases, turning a natural hazard into a controlled exhaust flow that prevents pressure buildup within the base. Success in this environment requires more than just brute force. It demands a deep understanding of the Earth's mechanics and the courage to engineer them. With the foundations laid, the next phase begins, installing the complex life support and cooling systems that will make this fortress habitable for its crew. The cooling system is the fortress's lifeline, a network of pipes carrying liquid helium that circulates through every sector to maintain a stable environment. Outside, the temperature reaches a staggering 800 degrees Celsius, but inside, the liquid helium maintains a constant, comfortable 15 degrees for the crew. These massive tanks serve as thermal reservoirs, ensuring that even if the primary pumps fail, the facility can remain cool for several weeks. Every weld must be perfect. A single leak of helium could lead to a localized thermal runaway, compromising the structural integrity of the entire sector. It is like building an ice cube inside a blast furnace, a feat of engineering that defies the natural laws of the volcanic environment. Automated drones continuously scan the cooling network, using infrared sensors to detect the slightest fluctuation in temperature before it becomes a critical issue. The closed-loop system is highly efficient, recapturing helium gas and reliquefying it to be pumped back into the thermal shields surrounding the missile silos. Precision valves balance the flow across different zones, dynamically adjusting based on the heat output of the machinery and the external volcanic activity levels. The central cooling hub is the heart of this thermal defense, pulsing with the power required to fight back the crushing heat of the mountain. Human oversight remains essential, as engineers must interpret the data and make split-second decisions to maintain the delicate thermal balance of the base. Advanced ceramic tiles provide the first layer of defense, absorbing the initial heat before the helium cooling system handles the remaining thermal load. Even the weapons systems are kept at optimal temperatures, ensuring that the sensitive nuclear components and electronics remain stable under any external conditions. The visual contrast between the fiery death outside and the clinical cool inside is a constant reminder of the fortress's technological triumph over nature. A deviation of just 0.1% could cause a thermal shock, potentially cracking the basalt foundations and compromising the entire Magma Fortress project. With the cooling systems fully operational, the fortress is now ready to activate its stealth and isolation protocols to vanish from the world's view. In the age of total surveillance, the ultimate shield is invisibility. The fortress is designed to remain undetected by even the most advanced orbital sensors. A specialized composite material covers the entrance, designed to scatter laser pulses and absorb radar waves, making the base appear as natural seabed. Acoustic isolation is equally critical. The facility is equipped with active noise-canceling systems that synchronize with the natural vibrations of the active volcano. By mimicking the seismic signature of a dormant mountain, the fortress effectively hides its mechanical heartbeat from enemy sonar and seismic monitoring stations. Even an enemy submarine passing just a few kilometers away would only hear the low rumble of the Earth, never suspecting a massive military hub. Thermal masking panels adjust in real time, blending the facility's heat exhaust with the volcano's natural thermal vents to eliminate any recognizable human heat signature. This allows the Magma Fortress to vanish from global monitoring maps, operating in complete secrecy while the rest of the world remains blissfully unaware. Camouflage extends to the physical structure, with the exterior doors covered in natural rock and sediment to fool any high-resolution optical satellite cameras. The deep basalt serves as a natural Faraday cage, trapping all internal communications and preventing any electromagnetic leakage that could betray the base's location. Seismic sensors are so sensitive they can distinguish between the natural movement of tectonic plates and the artificial cavitation of a remote-controlled drone. Inside, silence is a protocol. Every machine is mounted on vibration-dampening pads to ensure that no mechanical noise reaches the outer volcanic walls. The fortress becomes a black hole for information, a place where secrets are guarded, not just by steel, but by the very laws of physics. Security is the ultimate layer of armor. Without detection, the fortress cannot be targeted, making it effectively indestructible against any conventional or nuclear strike. Isolated from the world above, the crew operates in a realm of absolute privacy, where their only contact is through encrypted, quantum-secure communication links. With stealth secured, we now move into the heart of the operation, the command center, where the power of the fortress is managed. The command center is the brain of the Magma Fortress, a high-tech nerve center where every system is monitored by an advanced artificial intelligence. Officers use gesture-controlled interfaces to manage global data streams, ensuring they have a complete tactical picture of the world above their volcanic home. Adjacent to the command hub are the strategic silos, housing missiles that represent the ultimate deterrent, protected by thousands of tons of basalt rock. The scale of the arsenal is immense, designed to provide a guaranteed second strike capability that ensures no enemy can ever hope for a victory. Each silo is an independent unit, capable of surviving a direct nuclear hit on the volcano's surface, and still launching its payload with perfect accuracy. Launch sequences are protected by multi-factor authentication, requiring simultaneous authorization from both the command center and the high-level central military authority. The entire interior is suspended on hydraulic dampeners, isolating the sensitive command hardware and the crew from any external shocks or volcanic tremors. This seismic isolation technology is critical, allowing the fortress to remain functional even during massive tectonic shifts that would destroy traditional surface bases. At the core of the command center sits the AI, a supercomputer capable of calculating millions of trajectories and defensive maneuvers in a fraction of a second. Human-machine integration is at its peak here, where the judgment of experienced officers is combined with the raw processing power of advanced algorithms. The fortress can be completely sealed in seconds, creating an airtight environment that can sustain life independently for years if necessary. In times of crisis, the the Magma Fortress becomes a self-contained world, a steel and rock bubble capable of weathering any storm that rages above. The layout is designed for maximum efficiency, with living quarters, medical facilities, and the command hub all within reach of the central elevator system. Should the order ever be given, the fortress can respond within minutes, projecting its power across thousands of miles from its hidden volcanic lair. But the true test of this engineering masterpiece is not in its power to attack, but in its ability to survive the Earth's fury. Suddenly, the ground trembles with a force equivalent to millions of tons of TNT. A magnitude 9 earthquake has struck the Pacific Trench. Alarms scream through the hallways as the Magma Fortress faces its greatest challenge: the raw, unbridled power of a shifting tectonic plate. The seismic dampeners are pushed to their limits, groaning under the stress as they fight to keep the central core from being crushed. Engineers monitor the structural data in real time, watching as the reinforced basalt walls groan under the immense pressure of the moving Earth. In Sector 4, a cooling line ruptures, threatening to overheat the local reactors. Automated robots are deployed instantly to mitigate the thermal disaster. The commander's voice crackles over the radio, directing helium flow to stabilize the core, while the facility continues to rock from the aftershocks. Bolts of hardened titanium are tested to their breaking point. Every component must hold, or the entire fortress could be lost to the abyss. The geometry of the inverted cone proves its worth, channeling the seismic energy around the central living areas rather than through them. Outside, the volcano itself is changing shape, with massive landslides altering the seabed. Yet the fortress remains anchored deep in the foundation. Power fluctuations threaten the life support systems, requiring manual overrides and the activation of emergency battery banks to maintain essential operations. Maintenance robots work through the chaos, their AI programming allowing them to perform complex repairs in environments too dangerous for any human technician. As the main quake subsides, the crew begins the grueling task of assessing the damage and preparing for the inevitable series of aftershocks. The strategic arsenal remains secure, a testament to the foresight of the engineers who built this fortress to withstand the worst of nature's wrath. Small leaks and structural scars are the only evidence of the battle, but the integrity of the primary hull remains completely uncompromised and airtight. Structural integrity holds at 92%, a remarkable achievement for a facility that just survived one of the largest earthquakes in recorded history. The human element is the final line of defense. Their resilience in the face of certain doom is what truly powers the Magma Fortress. The engineering precision of the basalt excavation and the alloy plating has saved the lives of everyone inside, proving the validity of the design. As the facility stabilizes, the focus shifts back to long-term operations and the strategic role this fortress plays in the global balance of power. Nature has tested the fortress, and the fortress has won. The silent sentinel of the Pacific remains on duty, ready for what comes next. The Magma Fortress is not just a military base. It is a critical anchor for global peace, maintaining a balance that prevents total conflict. By operating outside the reach of conventional warfare, it ensures that no single power can dominate the others through a surprise nuclear first strike. Long-term sustainability is key. The facility is designed to operate for over 50 years without the need for external supply lines or refueling. Geothermal energy and advanced recycling systems provide a closed-loop economy, allowing the crew to survive indefinitely in their subterranean and underwater world. Future generations of engineers will continue to refine these systems, ensuring that the Magma Fortress remains at the cutting edge of defensive technology. Life inside is carefully managed, with hydroponic farms and synthetic protein labs providing all the nutritional needs of the personnel living deep underground. Endless supplies of water are drawn from the surrounding ocean, filtered and desalinated through high-pressure systems to support the facility's needs and cooling loops. It also serves as a secure data hub, protecting the world's most sensitive information within its impenetrable walls, and shielded electronic communication systems. Decisions made here have global consequences, as the fortress represents the ultimate insurance policy for the survival of the nation's strategic command structure. Self-sufficiency is achieved through advanced manufacturing, with 3D printers creating replacement parts from raw materials harvested directly from the volcanic seafloor. The power generation is nearly infinite, tapping into the thermal energy of the Earth to run the cooling, life support, and weapon systems simultaneously. Continuous training ensures that the personnel are always ready to respond to any threat, whether it comes from an enemy or from nature itself. Psychological well-being is prioritized, with simulated environments and comfortable living conditions helping the crew handle the stress of living in a volcano. The design is modular, allowing for future expansion as new technologies and strategic requirements arise in the coming decades of the 21st century. Magma Fortress stands as a monument to human ingenuity, a place where the most extreme conditions are conquered by the power of engineering. As we leave the depths and return to the surface, the fortress once again becomes a secret, a ghost in the vast Pacific Ocean. The sun rises over a world that remains unaware of the massive power that lies just a few miles beneath its tranquil, blue surface. Under the basalt and 1,000 tons of pressure, Magma Fortress remains silent, strong, and always ready to protect the peace from the shadows. It is the silent sentinel of our age, a marvel of future engineering that ensures our security by remaining completely hidden from the world's view. Thank you for joining us on this journey to decode the engineering of the future and the secrets of the world's most secure facility. Remember that the most powerful shields are the ones that never need to be used, and the greatest victories are won without a shock. Stay curious and keep exploring the incredible feats of human creation that are hidden in the most unexpected places across our planet.